All right, so let's examine this together. Janine, should we read it first?
We would.
The passage?
Oh. These other cases, they tired of wearing the same old clothes colors every weekend. Well, if your answer is yes, I agree. Too long have we been forced to wear the same old clothes day in, day out. And for what? It's so we can all look this same like prisoners did. The prison yard, I think it's about time we fight back. Uniform policy should be eliminated at North Miami Middle School because it strips students from their creative freedom.
Simulate.
A prison like dress code and is not selected to everyone's body image or comfort.
Good, thank you. So when reading that paragraph, right, can I get someone to tell me what the why I wrote it? So what I'm going to prove to you if this were to be an essay. What is my claim statement, Joshua?
In prison, because.
So in prison is my claim statement?
No.
What am I trying to prove? What is a claim statement? First of all, let's start there. What is it? What is a claim statement? What does that even mean? Yeah, the reason why you're writing. My opinion that I'm trying to portray. So in this, right? What is that? What is my claim? What is my reason? Yeah.
Uniform policy should be eliminated at North Miami Middle.
Beautiful. Uniform policy should be eliminated at North Miami Middle. That is my claim. If you wrote that for your claim, that is absolutely correct, right? Whenever we're looking, we have to understand a claim before we get anywhere else, right? If we don't know what the author is going to be trying to prove, then we're going to be very lost within the actual writing. Then what is one of the reasons? What is one of the reasons that I'm going to discuss in my writing? Javier. Excellent. So one of the reasons that I'm going to be discussing is that it strips students of their creative freedom, right? What's another reason that I state? Yeah.
It's not conducted to everyone's body image.
Good. It's not conducive, right, to everyone's body image or comfort. And then one more. What's the last one? It's similar to a prison-like dress code, right? So when we look at this, even though this is just the introduction paragraph, you already know what you're going to get from this essay, right? This would be an essay. You already know what the topic is, that I'm going to be proving why uniforms are not necessarily the best thing for people to be wearing. Specifically, I believe that at North Miami Middle School, we should not have to wear uniforms, and then I give you specific reasons as to why, right? I do believe it, actually. And so I give you reasons, right? And so in those reasons, you can kind of assume what my body paragraphs are going to be, what they're going to consist of.
I got a claim.
Do you have a reset claim?
No, I got something I can add to that. One of the reasons why they make us wear uniforms is because they can make money.
Who can make money?
The school can make money with dress downs and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so it can be used as a way of making. Okay, so a way to strengthen that would be, how would I add that reason to my? How would I add it in a way that would support that we should not? That we should not. So if you're going to say we're going to add that, right? How do I add it in a way that would support my claim, not hurt my claim? That is to make school less money for the school. Yeah, George.
They make us wear uniform. It benefits them because they're imprisoning us with these clothing.
And for us not to wear the clothing, we have to pay.
Okay. Okay, and then how do I? Okay, so right now you're telling wait, the words that you're using are connotatively positive. It's benefiting someone, right? Yeah, so what? With raise my hand though. How do I make this seem like it's not positive, right? Because all I hear as a reader and listening to you guys is benefits, like paying. So I'm like, okay, schools need money. They need to be benefited, right? So what? Let's push that point. Yeah.
Okay. You have to pay to wear your own clothing.
Okay, and that is complete the point. We have to pay to our own clothing, and
That's unfair. Like that's unfair because you have to buy uniforms.
Exactly.
And then you already have clothes, so what is the point of paying to wear your own clothes? That is stupid and retarded, and I don't.
Okay, so that's when you lose the strength. That's when you lose the strength of the argument. So you had it in the beginning, right? Right, and then you lose it. Then you lose the power because then the person stops listening. So it's unfair, which is what I heard, that we have to pay to wear our own clothing.
That's
right?
negative.
Cool. We have a little bit. Well, how can we strengthen that more?
They're just using us to get money, and we shouldn't have to pay for things that we already have.
There we go. There we put it all together, right? Students are being used as a means to make money, And we should not have to pay for things that we already own, right? Paying for things that make you feel comfortable. And then there's another amazing point that was brought up. Can you mention that point? That was really great as well.
It's funny how that they make us wear uniform, right? So when people they try to say any idea that uniform helps us with our careers, but no, the careers that they are striving us to go for are like doctors, lawyers. They don't wear uniforms like we do. So people who wear uniforms like we do are like people who work at Burger King or McDonald's.
An excellent point. Okay, come back. So,
I need an autograph.
That's a beautiful point, right?
Get your autograph. Get your autograph.
So, that's a beautiful point, right? So we have to, and that's what I want to teach you guys is how to question, right? We need to question. Alright, bring it back. Sit down. So, we have to question these things, right? So for so long, teachers are saying, you need to get used to wearing a uniform because in the future you're going to have to wear these uniforms, right? And then it really takes someone to question that. What kind of positions wear uniforms, right? If I'm going to be a business owner, am I necessarily going to wear a uniform, right? Or am I going to wear something that's appropriate for my position? Right, but I have creative freedom at the same time. So that was a really great point, in addition to the point that Joshua and Jamisha and DeAndre kind of developed together. That could add to this argument, right? So if you guys were to come front, Mr. Likud, you already have points in your head about things that are...
You want to do this?
They want us to work at Burger King.
Well, this class is already... We can debate anything, right? We can really prove anything, but I just want you guys to think about the strengths of this argument.
I think we should debate.
They want us to be.
All right. So when we look at this, right, thesis construction. So a lot of times we've been talking about claims and then reasons, as if they're two separate things. In the end of the day, those two things go hand in hand, right? So what I want you guys to write down is this formula here. Claim plus reasoning equals thesis. And a thesis is a term that you're going to hear a lot, especially in high school and college, right? It's really the professional way of getting our opinions out, right? A claim and reasoning. So a claim by itself is just an opinion, right? And reasoning just by itself is unspecific to a topic. So we have to bring them together to really be strong, right? And so when we think about that, we have to really come up with a solid reason, right? What do you believe and why? And in order for us to be strong in our opinions, we have to have enough reasoning, or solid reasoning, as to why, right? Just copy down the formula. Claim plus reasoning equals thesis. You don't need to copy down the example. So the example there is really just a breakdown of what we already went through. The claim, right, is uniform policy should be eliminated at North Miami Middle School, while the reasoning is those three reasons that you guys kind of broke down already, right? Creative freedom, simulates a prison-like dress code, and is not conducive to everyone's body image or comfort, right? So those are the reasons behind it. And when we look at that, right, in those reasons, we can already number off how our body paragraphs are going to look. So I don't even need to read beyond the introductory paragraph to already know exactly how the rest of the essay is going to play out, right? So the first statement said in the reasoning is because it strips students of their creative freedom, right? How is that? You good? Mm-hmm. So number one, it strips students of their creative freedom, right? And so that's our first body paragraph, right? Creative freedom. Second, prison-like dress code. That is our second body paragraph. Third, body image or comfort. Third body paragraph. Do you guys see how that breaks down?
Yeah.
So you literally, in your thesis, you already planned your essay, right? There's no confusion of what am I going to do in the next paragraph? What am I going to do next, right? And it already plays out in the way that we break it down. So just from that beginning paragraph, I, as a reader, can already in my head say, okay, look, this is exactly how they're going to break it down. And this is how they're going to present their argument. All right? So the 5-paragraph format is familiar to you guys, so I'm not going to necessarily waste too much time. But there's two different ways you can do it. There's a 5-paragraph format, which is what most of us are used to, where we have 2 body paragraphs, and then usually our third body paragraph will kind of discuss the counterclaim and reject that counterclaim, right? So adversely, others may believe this point, right? Adversely, others may believe that uniforms are actually beneficial to student learning, and they say this because this is the kind of careers that you would have, you need to wear uniforms to get used to it. However, right, this can be disproven by the fact that, and then your point, right? We actually are striving for better positions that wouldn't necessarily have uniforms, and this is actually an insult to our creativity, right? That would be that third paragraph, and then in conclusion we wrap it up. Another way of doing it would be a 4th paragraph, right? Where you actually have just 2 points that you're focusing on, and then that counterclaim kind of falls into the second one. So sometimes we only have 2 reasons, right? We don't have 3 reasons, and that's okay. We want to focus on making it clear and to the point, rather than necessarily making it just long for the point of being long. So when I was reading your guys' Common Core essays, the ones that you guys did, these ones that you guys worked on, I realized that you guys are getting really, really good at writing clearly and staying on topic. One thing I wanted to push us to do is have fun, right? I think that one thing that I realized is that our writing sounded really mechanic. It was very much like claim statement, reason, 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 conclusion, right? It wasn't, there was no counterclaims, but there was no like, I didn't hear your voice, right? I didn't hear your voice in it. And so what I wanted to kind of do is break down how you can have fun and what points are meant for fun, and then where you get serious and where you kind of show that formal writing. So when you guys introduce the topic, or you can introduce it with a story or an anecdote or some kind of questioning, right? So in mine you saw I did questioning, right? I was like, how do you feel about work uniforms, right? If you don't like them, then this is for you, right? So some kind of way to buy in the reader. Then you have to explain why the topic is important, right? So why should it matter? Why do I care about uniforms? Why should it matter to me? So that the reader is therefore invested. Then, once you guys have done that fun part of really getting the reader invested, then you can kind of move into the more formal stuff, right? Your claim statement, and you're laying out your topic in your reading, right? So, quickly, a thesis statement usually appears near the end of the introductory paragraph of a paper, and it offers a summary of the main points or claim of the essay. The thesis statement is developed, supported, and explained in the course of the paper by means of examples and evidence. And the reason I put this up there is because when we have our thesis statement, right, we have our opinion and why. We have to keep checking to make sure that every paragraph we write is supporting it. I think that's something that we need to get better at, because a lot of times we'll be in paragraph 3, and we almost forgot what our thesis was. And so we're kind of writing on topic, but on a different aspect, right? So if the thesis was, the structure of mi madre better help me understand people's connection with the world, and then in paragraph number 2, we're talking about figurative language, right? We lost our thesis. Because now we're supporting something about the poem, but we're not supporting necessarily the topic, right? So we have to continuously look at our thesis for kind of help on staying on task. So what I want you guys to do is just like I did, right? I looked at that introductory paragraph and I outlined it. I said, okay, you know what? There's going to be 3 body paragraphs, and this is what they're going to be about. I want you guys to look at just these 2 sentences. You can do it with the people around you. I want you guys to pull out the claim, and then I want you guys to pull out what the body paragraphs would be. So pull out the claim and pull out the reasons in this 2 sentences. So it's like an outline. Pull out the claim. What is the claim here? And pull out the reasons for that claim. Go ahead and write that down. You can discuss it with the person next to you. Question. With the raise of the hand, is this going to be a 4 or 5 paragraph essay? 4 and why? Let's give it 2 reasons, right? So, what is our claim?
That we study.
Yeah, student success is led by studying, right? And then what are our reasons that we have? What's one of the reasons? Yeah. Okay, so it promotes a good work ethic for college, and what's the first one? What's the first reason here? Yeah. it helps you retain the information, right? So that would be our two body paragraphs, and then if we want to make it even stronger, we'd add in the counterclaim, right? Because counterclaims always make things stronger. All right, what I want you guys to do now is, with the people around you again, I want you guys to read the following prompt. I'll read it to you because I know that sometimes it's a little bit hard to see. And then you guys are going to create a thesis statement. Remember, a thesis statement is just a claim and reasons. Just a claim and reasons. I don't want you guys to do a hook. I don't want us to do a whole introduction paragraph. Just one claim and reasons to that claim. So you can either do 2 reasons or 3. So the prompt is, listening to music in class has been a highly debated concept since the emergence of the iPod and music-capable cell phone. Consider the pros and cons of being able to listen to music during student work time and formulate a solid thesis statement reflecting your stance. So you want to put your opinion and give me multiple reasons for why. So go ahead and discuss how you can do it with a partner and work together for that. And I'll give you guys about 4 minutes. Thesis? You're doing thesis, so claim and reasons. Claim and reasons. No. Because I have independent. You're going to start it. You're going to work on it throughout the few days.